You came into my life like a whirlwind, and now I can't imagine it without the storm. They warned me, but the intensity of your love was something I couldn't walk away from. You weren't just trouble. You were the kind of chaos that changed me forever. I thought I knew what I wanted, but you came and showed me something I never expected. I thought I could escape the turbulence, but your energy pulled me in deeper. You didn't just challenge me, you made me question everything I thought was real. They warned me, but your smile was enough to make me ignore all the red flags. You were trouble, but in the best way possible, shaking up everything I knew about myself. You burned me with your passion, but in the ashes I found my strength. They said you were dangerous, but your touch felt like the safest place in the world. You tore down every wall I built, and now I'm left exposed but free. I thought you'd be just a passing phase, but you turned into the most unforgettable part of my story. I was warned, but the pull of your energy was too powerful to resist. You were a storm, and I stood in the eye of it, trying to understand how it made me feel so alive. You made me feel like I was walking on the edge, but somehow it was where I felt most alive. You were the chaos I didn't want, but now can't imagine living without. I should have known better, but the way you looked at me made me want to take the risk. You weren't just trouble, you were the lesson I needed, wrapped in an unforgettable experience. You shook me to my core, and in the aftermath, I found parts of me I didn't know existed. The truth is, I never stood a chance against the intensity of your soul. You didn't just break my heart, you broke open my world, and I'll never be the same. They warned me you'd hurt me, but what they didn't say was that your love was worth every bruise. You were trouble, but it was the kind of trouble that made my heart race with every moment. You taught me the value of living for the moment, even when it meant walking into uncertainty. They warned me, but it wasn't the danger I feared. It was the beauty in your chaos that kept me here. I thought I could leave, but your presence lingered in my thoughts, making it impossible to walk away. You were trouble, but your love was the kind of fire I couldn't resist getting burned by. You didn't just break my heart, you unraveled every layer of my soul, and I'm still figuring out how to put it back together. You came into my life like a storm, and though I knew it would leave me in pieces, I didn't care. They said you were trouble, but what they didn't realize was that your trouble was my peace. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but in the end, it was exactly what I needed. You made me believe that sometimes the best things come from the hardest lessons. Your love was a kind of beautiful danger that took me places I never thought I'd go. They warned me you were a risk, but somehow I couldn't find the courage to walk away. In your arms, I lost all sense of control, but for the first time, I felt truly alive. You weren't just trouble, you were the spark that lit the fire I didn't know I had inside me. You didn't just leave a mark on my heart, you made me redefine everything I thought I knew about love. They warned me, but I didn't realize how much your love would consume me. You broke me down, and now I see myself more clearly than I ever did before. You were a gamble I couldn't resist, and even though I lost, it was worth every second. You were trouble, but you taught me what it means to take risks and embrace the unknown. I didn't know I could fall so far, but somehow it was the best place I've ever landed. I should have been scared of the storm, but instead I found peace in your chaos. Your love was the kind that made me question everything, but also made me want to question even more. You were trouble, but every moment with you felt like a story worth telling. You taught me that sometimes the most dangerous things can bring the most beautiful rewards. You didn't just mess up my life, you made me realize that I needed to break free from what I thought I knew. I should have walked away, but instead I chose to get lost in your world. You were trouble, but you turned my ordinary life into something extraordinary. I didn't know how to handle you, but now I see that I wasn't supposed to. You tore down my walls, and now I'm learning how to live with nothing but raw honesty. They warned me, but your smile was the only thing that could calm the storm in my mind. You taught me how to love without fear, even when that love hurt more than I ever imagined. I should have left when I had the chance, but I never could resist the pull of your wild energy. You were the chaos I needed to understand what true peace feels like. Sometimes, the most unforgettable people are the ones who leave the deepest scars. I didn't expect to lose myself, but I did, and now I'm rebuilding from the ground up. You were like a beautiful storm, leaving chaos, but also the kind of peace I never knew I needed. You came into my life like a hurricane, and now I can't even remember what calm feels like. They warned me about your fire, but I still danced too close to the flames. It wasn't love, it was a wild, uncharted ride, and now I'm left figuring out how to walk again. I thought I could handle the storm, but I was the one who got swept away. You made me question everything I thought I knew about myself, and maybe that was the point. Your presence left an imprint, like a tattoo on my soul, one I can't erase. They warned me you'd burn me, and I didn't realize how much I needed that warmth until it scorched me. I thought I could weather the storm, but it seems I was just standing in the eye of it. You weren't trouble, but the way you made me feel was something I wasn't prepared for. Maybe it wasn't you who was trouble. Maybe it was me for letting myself fall so hard. I was warned, but the thrill of it all was worth ignoring the consequences. You broke all the rules, but somehow that's what made you so unforgettable. I thought I could handle the turbulence, but you turned my world upside down. Sometimes the right person at the wrong time is the most dangerous kind of magic. I should have listened to them, but there's something about you that I couldn't resist. You were a whirlwind, and now I'm trying to pick up the pieces of my heart. You turned my world into a beautiful mess, one I'll never regret, but will always question. I thought I was stronger than this, but you found a way to break through every wall I built. You didn't just break my heart, you reshaped who I am. You didn't mean to be trouble, but you were exactly what I needed to learn the hardest lessons. The way you loved me was the kind of reckless abandon I didn't know I craved. They warned me, but I walked straight into the storm anyway, because it felt like home. Maybe it wasn't the trouble you caused, but the depth of the emotions I didn't know I was capable of feeling. You had a way of making me lose myself in you, but somehow I still don't regret it. I thought I was strong enough, but your touch weakened me in ways I never imagined. I was warned about you, but the chaos was too beautiful to resist. In the end, it wasn't the trouble you brought, it was the lessons you left behind. You didn't just break my heart, you rewrote the way I see the world. I didn't know I could feel so much, but you taught me the true meaning of love and pain. You were my addiction, and I willingly fell into your embrace. They warned me you were a risk, but sometimes the greatest rewards come from the biggest risks. You were trouble, but somehow you also felt like my salvation. I never expected to lose myself in you, but somehow it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I was warned that you were a storm, but I didn't realize how much I wanted to be swept away. You were the kind of trouble I couldn't escape, but I didn't want to. They said you were trouble, but they didn't mention how you'd make me feel so alive. In the end, you didn't break me. You just showed me the strength I didn't know I had. You were trouble, but your love was the kind of chaos I needed to grow. I thought I was immune to heartbreak, but you proved me wrong in the most beautiful way. You weren't just trouble, you were the kind of chaos that made me feel free. You broke all my rules, and I'm better for it. They warned me, but I walked into your storm because it felt like I had meant to be there. You didn't ruin me. You taught me how to live without fear of the fall. I didn't know I was broken until you came into my life and showed me how to heal. You were the kind of trouble I couldn't avoid, even if I tried. They warned me you were trouble, but no one told me how much I needed you. You left me in pieces, but somehow I'm whole in ways I never was before. I thought you'd be a brief spark, but you turned into a fire that consumed me entirely. You weren't just a lesson, you were the kind of experience I'll never forget. They said you were trouble, but I wasn't prepared for the magic you'd bring into my life. You weren't a mistake, just a chapter I'll never be able to forget. In the end, it wasn't the damage you caused that stays with me. It's the way you made me feel alive. They warned me, but what they didn't know was that the risk was worth it. You taught me that some things are too important to resist, even if they break you. You were the kind of trouble I thought I could handle, but now I can't imagine life without you. I was warned you'd leave a mark, but I didn't realize it would be one I'd treasure.